Okay, Slay Girls, let's do the last one for today. Where is Joe? This man, I swear, is a part-time podcast host. Maybe I just sit there. I still need to get him a chair. Crazy kid. This one, quite frankly, baffles me. Sometimes I read these titles and I think, who in God's green earth are these people? Buckle in. My mother-in-law encouraged my boyfriend to cheat on me. Story time. My boyfriend, Steve, was the love of my life. The use of the term was in past tense then is concerning. However, the problem here is that his mum hated me. Seriously, she would question every single thing I say. She would degrade me to a piece of shit every time me and Steve would come over for dinner. And keep in mind, I really do struggle with severe social anxiety, severe social and general anxiety and depression. Once I had a panic attack at their house and she laughed and said, "Stop being dramatic." Who are these people telling people to stop being dramatic? We all know mental health is all a lie to make yourself a centre of attention. She said that. Do you know what? People like this, I'm actually so happy for them that they have never, ever been in that situation where they have struggled with mental illness, because there's a difference. She said here, what did you say? Mental health? Yeah, mental health is all a lie to make yourself the centre of attention. There is a difference between mental health and mental illness. We all have mental health, whether it is healthy or unhealthy. You daft fucking bat. Be educated enough to know the difference between illness and health. Okay? Stupid woman. I'm so glad that she's never had to experience mental illness. And I'm very sad that you have. I was shook, Tatty. Now, one night, me and Steve went over to Bertha's house for dinner again. I was preparing myself for an absolute night of hell as usual. But before we even went in, Steve told me to be careful tonight. My mum might be a bit rude. Like, yeah, you've just said here, my mum might be a bit rude. A bit rude as in telling me that mental health is a joke. Never. I ignore this and I just walk into the house. Bertha immediately opens the door and gives Steve the biggest hug and a kiss on the cheek and took him inside while leaving me on the doorstep. I walk in as usual. Of the entire dinner, Bertha ignores me. I decide to go home early because I've had enough of this shit. Absolutely, my girl. I love that. You have the confidence to take yourself out of the shittest situation you could have been put in. That shows such strength and such self-respect. Get yourself out of a situation, and we should take a learning from this, ladies, gents, gays and theys, that you should feel that you can take yourself and remove yourself from any situation. And you 100% should. You don't deserve to sit there and deal with a shit time from shit people like Bertha. My dad always taught me a brilliant lesson. If you went to a restaurant and you had an awful meal, you got food poisoning and the service was awful, you would not go back. So let's not go to these situations which are going to be causing us shit times, you know? Anywho, getting all riled up. I got home. Steve would be getting a ride off his sweet mummy as he stayed a little bit longer. I go upstairs to my room and see a woman about my age but prettier on the bed, looking like she was waiting for someone. What? What? I thought the only shooketh that I was going to be was... So you've got home, there's some woman on the bed, but much prettier. Hell nah. I'm not taking any of this. No. We don't see each other the way other people see her. I'm sure she's lay on the bed like this and thought, shit, who's this beautiful woman that's just walked into this room? I could not contend with her. I'm so shocked. This woman looks me dead in the eye and goes, "Who are you?" Oh, hell nah. Who the fuck are you in my house? You're breaking and entering. I'm so shocked. I tell her that I live here. Yeah. I'm the owner of this house. I own this house. At this point, I am fully trembling. I tell her to get her ass out of my house before I call the police. I'm breaking and entering. Amen. She clears off after that. Now, the decision. Do I confront Steve or play the long game? I think it's evident that I decided to stick around for the long run. As soon as Steve gets home, I act normal. I got Steve a drink, basically played housemate for almost the entire night. And then, my chance came. Steve had left the room for a few minutes, so it's the perfect time to search his phone for two things. Steve's text with that girl, and for what his mother was ignoring me for that night. Yes, this is true. We have correlation here. I found Steve's text with Mummy Dearest straight away, and let me tell you, when I read these messages, my jaw dropped. Turns out, Bertha had been encouraging Steve to cheat on me for the past 2 years of us dating. And then I found out that the cherry on top of all of this perfect little cake, this girl was someone he'd been meeting for the past 6 months whilst I was at work. Whenever he knew I would be out the house. Weirdly, I didn't cry about this situation, but what came out of my mouth was the most maniacal laugh. I'd already planned how to get my revenge, took the screenshots of all the messages and sent them to myself for safekeeping. Good on you. The next time me and Steve went to Bertha's house was the very last time. I am now loving life, doing what I love doing and going places I've always wanted to go. I love this. Last thing I heard about Steve was that he and Bertha hadn't left their house since that night. Too embarrassed by their own behaviour. That's why. And who is this girl? Did we ever find out who this Amy was? I mean, yeah, no. Well, you've seen him for 6 months. So, fuck off, Bertha. Fuck off. Who are these mums that think their boys don't deserve to treat women correctly enough to cheat? And, I mean, this girl clearly also didn't know about you, so we can't blame her at all. The problem is that Bertha would like to sleep with her son. And she can't do that, so she's trying to control the narrative. And she's found a way to do that through this Amy lass. What a fucked up situation. I'm so upset that you've wasted 2 years of your life on this man-child. It's fucking weird. Has he got a dad? Does the dad like Bertha? Because if you quite like Steve, maybe we can go for the more mature version of Steve and go for his dad, you know? Let's hit him where it hurts. Become the new wife and stepmom at the same time. That's what I'd do. Joe once did that. It was actually hilarious. Wasn't it, Joe? You absolute player. Yeah. I can't believe these mums. If there's any mums of boys out there that have experienced this situation and hatred for their daughter-in-laws, can you just let me know what it's like? Like, why do you hate them so much? Really weird. Really weird. Anyway.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa.